You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I'm Rodney Rogers, partner of Coach Ease in Crime there, Michael Coy.
Good evening.
This is episode number 31.
31.
31.
31.
And what a beautiful day, sort of, it was till the end of the day today.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the rain.
Yeah. That's right.
The clouds.
Sometimes rain isn't bad, but...
No. Actually, it made the fishing good. Because on my way in, you know, the rain had stopped and it was cooled down a little bit. And I saw these guys on a pond, and they were actually out there pile driving some bass on my way in. So I pulled over and was kind enough to give them a few of the grubs. There.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a few of the grubs, and talked to them, and we were comparing fish. Dude, look what I caught, look what I caught, you know, the kind of thing.
So when you pulled over, what, they're on like one of these lakes that were...
Yeah, they're just on a pond right off of 417 there.
I've often wondered about stopping and just talking to those. I'm always afraid their first initial reaction is going to be a little freaked out.
They always are. You know,
what's this guy want? Is he a cop? Is he, you know?
Yeah, is he going to bust our chops? Or because as a fisherman, believe it or not, I seen a post the other day on Facebook. It said, you know, you're more, you know, if you're fishing in a neighborhood, you'll get the cops called on you in 5 minutes. But if you're a thug beside a store drinking a beer causing trouble, it takes them a couple hours to call the cops. And that is, dude, that is so right on the money. Because as a fisherman, we're always jumpy. You know, we just know the cops are going to be called any second.
It's so weird.
Dude, people hate when you fish their waters, even though they don't fish. It's happened to me 1,000 times.
Oh, I wonder why it just... Yeah, I guess even down in Hunter's Creek it was that way. They're very
protective. It was bad. Even when I was a resident, I'd had to keep my ID on them. And I got approached so much and harassed so much by the residents that I'd say, look, just call the police. Go away, call the police. And I got to know the sheriffs, and we often fished together on the weekends. So, there you have it. So, anyway, how was your weekend, Mike Coy?
It was good. I was somewhere. I was in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah, you were in Atlanta this weekend. It was great.
I know. I was going to say it's hot, but I know it's hot here, too.
Yeah.
It was definitely hot Atlanta. Low 90s, but it just... It felt like summer. It felt like summer's here, you know.
Dude, it's full bore. It was like 94, 95. So, yeah, I'm still getting over this yuckiness. You can probably tell in my voice. I still got a little bit left.
It's lingering, isn't it?
Dude, it's like, it's just one of those, like an old cousin that you just don't want there.
Yeah.
Just kind of there aggravating.
I'm laughing because I'm seeing this picture you posted on Facebook.
That's you and I, my man. That is absolutely us to the nth degree.
Yeah, that photo is compliments of my brother Marlon.
Thank you, Marlon Coy, if you're listening tonight.
Sent that to me over the weekend, and I just sat there and giggled when I looked at it.
You're definitely the man.
You're going to have to log on to Rodney Rogers' Facebook page and to just appreciate what I'm talking about. But interesting enough, I guess, can I explain where this came from, actually?
Yeah, dude, I was going to ask you.
So I guess it's an app that you download for iOS or probably Android or whatever, but it's an application that you upload your photo, and then they do a caricature of you. And I guess this company has several artists. By looking at the different pictures, you can see there's kind of several different styles, maybe different people. But it's actually hand-drawn,
really?
From what I understand. And then they charge you for the photograph. So
Right.
So there is a charge involved if you buy their thing, but if you like caricatures of yourself, you need a couple.
That is awesome.
My wife's in denial that looks like me, but I actually think it does.
I'm pretty sure it does. It looks like it to me. Marlon, please send your bill for that caricature.
Maybe the neck. I don't know about the neck.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Or maybe I'm in denial too.
Well, the neck is.
My neck looks like a popsicle stick.
It needs a little help there, but it doesn't. I like the shirt you got on. It's just like super cool disco there.
But this was taken from the photograph of you and myself at the chili cook-off.
At the chili cook-off, yeah, exactly.
So when you when you look at it and you go, that doesn't look like me, then you look at the picture like, yeah, maybe it does a little bit.
I actually love it, man. I'm going to make that my profile picture. I actually love that picture. That is awesome. Marlon, send me where you did that.
Can I ask that you wear that outfit next week?
I would like to. You know what? That's actually a... we so ought to find that outfit. It was like black coveralls with a... What color shirt is that? Green?
Yeah, it looked like waiters or something.
So, yeah, some type
obviously they took some liberties there because you were not wearing that at the chili cook-off. No. Nor was I wearing the Saturday Night Fever.
That is awesome. Yeah, you look like Super Joe Cool there. So if you're wondering what we're laughing at, look at the Facebook page of Rodney Rogers Outdoors. That is awesome. Anyway. So awesome weekend. You had a great weekend.
You got a lot going on, man. It just seems like things are starting to roll here. So
absolutely.
Keep following, keep listening.
Because we will keep talking.
Because we got some stuff coming up that we're gonna announce. Maybe not tonight.
I got some. Oh yeah, dude. We were supposed to work on that. We're still working on that. We need to do that. So anyway, excuse me there. I've been getting tons of emails, tons, and. Some of the cool things, we're in.
Do you have that email in front of you?
I'm gonna pull it up.
It sounded like I was setting you up.
Yeah, I was actually gonna talk, fool everybody and talk my way into this email, but it's gator season, so I'm getting a lot of questions. A lot of people take over, pal. I'm looking through my emails here.
Mike McGraw just commented on your photograph on
did he?
Facebook. Hope he's listening.
Okay, pal. So, a lot of questions. Of course, we've got gator tags. So, if you're actually interested in a gator hunt this year, we've got some gators to take this year.
Earth to Rodney.
I'm sorry, man.
Come back to me, Rodney. Rodney, come back.
I'm hoping. Okay. Anyway, so we've actually got some alligator hunts available. You can get on our website at RodneyRogersOutdoors.com.
Did we really? You for reals?
I am for real. So you can actually shoot an alligator.
Keep talking. If
you were not successful in your tags this year, don't hesitate to email us info@RodneyRogersOutdoors.com. If you go to our website, you can just send any email there. They all come to me. So, or you, so we'll get the emails and we'll get them answered. One of the emails I was wanting to pull up was.
Are you able to pull it up?
I've got them. There's just so many. I'm going through them to see which one it was.
It's a pretty good problem to have.
We actually, it is actually. We actually had a really good compliment. I wanted to thank him on air, and of course, read his. Okay.
Have you found it?
No, it's just.
Dagnabbit.
Yeah, I was hoping we could go. If we had a commercial break, we would
we could take a commercial break.
So anyway, and I wanted to thank him on air. I'll find his email and I'll thank him. He loves the gator hunting. He said he's booked up for his hunting book is booked for the next year or so. So he's jammed, but he wants the gator hunt. So I would love to take him because anybody who's listening to us, he actually wants to take an alligator the old-fashioned way, like we do it.
Naked?
The old-fashioned way.
My kind of man right
Jump
there.
on him and gnaw him like that leopard did to that crocodile down in wherever that was. Did you see that?
No. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how we do it. You should see my cousin's teeth. He can sink him into them. So I wanted to kind of thank him on air and say, dude, appreciate the...
What's his name?
I think.
See, man, I don't know, Rodney.
I can pull it in. It's all in there. It's in the box. It's a big box.
You've been making this all up right now, as far as I know.
So, there we have it, and that's so. We have alligator hunts available. I'll quit looking at my email so I can focus on my.
Do we really?
Idle shit. Yeah, we have we have 6 alligators.
Big words you're putting out here, Rodney.
I'm not gonna kill one. I'm gonna use my tags for sale. My tags are for sale. The other 4, we have 2 from the other 4 that are for sale. So we got 4 tags total. None of them are spoken for.
Did you hear what happened to me?
What happened to you?
I actually got my gator tags.
No, say.
Didn't pay for them on time.
Stop.
Lost them.
Wah, 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 wah.
That's like catching that that big marlin
Getting him up to the boat.
and then getting off
Pow.
before you ever
Right at the.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
I never thought something like that would just almost throw me into an
You know
immediate
what's sad is
depression.
We had talked. We had talked about it like 2 days ahead of that.
I mean, incredibly irresponsible of me. And
Well, it happened.
probably more my wife's fault than mine, but did I just say that? Wow.
Oh, she's not.
There's repercussions of those kind of comments.
That's going to get somebody cut by the end of the night, as long as I slip out the back door. So yeah, we've got four hunts available. I'm working deals with several people. No one has paid a deposit. So at this point, we still have 4 hunts.
Wow.
When as I get the deposits, when I send the dates out, and then plan, we'll nail down.
Would
obviously.
you take somebody from out of state?
Absolutely,
No.
absolutely. Just email me. I'll tell you what the requirements are. Believe it, it's a lot cheaper than if you went out and just bought the tag yourself.
No kidding, because I'm still amazed. If you're from out of state and taking advantage of that, it's way much better value than if you're right up the road.
Oh my God! You
Because
see what they charge?
$271 for a Florida resident.
Right.
What was it for out of
Almost
state?
$1,100 for out of state. So yeah.
That's amazing.
And then you would have to know your lake. You'd have to know where to go, and it'd be an uncomfortable. I wouldn't go to Louisiana and hunt alligators. You know what I mean? Because I just don't know the waters.
Yeah. Big part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I know there's gators there because I see them on TV, but I don't know how successful you would be there.
Rodney, I always got your back, right?
Uh-oh.
I've got this email here.
Oh, right on, right on.
Wait, I'll let you talk to the listeners. Do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
Make sure I got the right one.
Okay.
But this is, can I say his name? I can say
Sure.
his name. Alan Wilkie.
Yes,
Is that the one?
that's the one.
Okay.
Alan, good old Alan.
So,
Sure you got it?
I got all kinds of emails from you now that I see.
I know, there's tons of them there.
My card is full for.
There it is. That's it. That's it.
Okay, so this is from him. So can I play the music?
Oh, God, play.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Right?
I remember this.
Yeah,
I
we
remember
gotta
this
have
music from the beginning when we didn't have emails.
Because when I talked to Alan, this is the kind of music he wanted played
Okay.
behind his
Alan,
email. Okay.
this has nothing to do with Rodney Rogers.
This
This is Mike Coy at
Rodney's
RodneyRogersOutdoors.com.
My hunt card is full for a while. But sometime in the next 2 years, I would love to do an archery gator hunt from a canoe. Possibly using your old method with a bang stick. I love that part. That's my
That's the
favorite
best
part.
part. That makes
Being from Wisconsin, I did not have the opportunity to hunt gators. But I have a lease in Florida and have seen some smaller ones on it. And it got me interested. I love your podcast. I need to back up. I love your podcast. And love the gator hunting episode the best. More of them, please.
Well, Alan.
Thank you. Wait, I'm not done.
Oh.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Ta-da. Alan, thank you so much. Mike at RodneyRogersOutdoors.com. You can bash him up there. Thank you so much for the email. Honestly, it's emails like that that certainly make this worth it. And tonight is...
And you know what's cool is that email was legit.
Yeah, totally.
Not like the other 24 I've made up in the past. That was the real deal.
This one is real.
So thank you, Alan. That's actually very cool.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. I appreciate it.
And thank you for that introduction to tonight's topic, Alan.
Yes, which is...
Alligator hunting, part 3.
Part 3. Yeah, that's right, part 3.
Yeah, this is the third part. So if you want to catch up after tonight, go back and dig through the archives. There's 2 more somewhere
28 and 29. 30, we did the diving. So, yeah, you should be able to pick that up.
One of those we just rambled on for an hour.
That's true. So 27, 28. 29 and 30
called
were...
it a hodgepodge episode.
That's right, we did.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. And, I'd certainly... That's how I've hunted alligators like that for years.
Yeah.
Now, we've got a couple different methods that we use. There's times when we can use an airboat, times when we can get in a John boat or some kind of boat. Just depends on where we hunt and how we do it. But
what we are not going to do this year, though, is fulfill your dream of hunting from paddleboard.
Yes. You
And
talked
they
me
have
out
to-
of that one.
At least in any kind of
For now.
official capacity.
Yes, in
Keeping
official
my eye on
capacity. But my goal is, I'm going to throw it out there, my goal is to make my own paddleboard.
Out of
Design.
bamboo and twigs.
And a few styrofoam cups. As headlights.
Paddleboard out of red Solo cups. That's your-
Oh, yeah. Red Solo Cup paddleboard. And then actually kill an alligator off a paddleboard. So if you're thinking about doing that, don't do that until I do it. I'd like to be the first guy to do it. And it won't be on the official Rodney. It'll be like a rogue.
You know, that's perfect for the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it'll
The
be a
stuff
rogue.
that we don't produce.
Yeah.
The
I
raw
won't tell
stuff.
Mike when I do it. He told me
I'm
it was
sure I'll be the last to
irresponsible. Which it is. Can't get some money. It really hurt.
So tonight we talk about gator hunting again, and again, I love some of these topics
Yeah.
because these are from your heart. I mean, this is just you just turn the switch on Rodney Rogers and away we go.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know?
Thank you. I mean, honestly, dude, I've done probably of all the hunting I've done in my life, this is probably what I've done the most. Since I was young.
Well, you're authentic to Florida. You've grown up with this as part of your life. So.
Right.
Even your dad, right? And your dad even got you started here.
Absolutely.
When he threw you into one of the gator pits at Gatorland.
And said, "Here, how about it? Get them out of there, bull. They get you."
That's a touching story.
And
Like
the old
teach your
lady
kid
on the
to
bridge
swim,
was like,
but-
"Oh my God, this little boy's in the gator pits."
So how they teach your kid to swim, you throw them in, and
Jump
Dad
in
wanted
the
you to be
pool.
a gator hunter, so what made sense.
That's how we do it in Florida. So if you're a Florida boy and you're 7 years old and your dad says, "Hey, we're going to Gatorland today,"
Don't do it.
don't do it. Stay home. It's eat or be
Play
eaten.
sick. Play sick.
So, real quick before we get on to our main subject, I wanted to hit. I saw this video and I was really impressed. There's just
Is all you do watch YouTube videos?
I do honestly.
That's great.
That's all. I mean, I don't have cable at home. I don't watch the news because I figure if it's important enough, you'll tell me to evacuate or whatever it is I got to do. I always walk out the door and go, "Oh crap, it's raining."
I say that sarcastically, but I could live on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's informative, educational,
Oh my God.
entertaining.
Absolutely. It's everything
amusing.
you want there.
It really is. If there's one channel I could live off of, it's YouTube.
Absolutely. I do, as a matter of fact.
Seriously, I mean.
So this was actually off of fishhound.com, and what it is it's they tagged a fish just before Christmas.
What is fishhound.com?
Fishhound is it's just another website kind of like ours, and they post fishing gear and fishing news, and this one actually posts the video of this great white shark that was tagged. And what was so strange about this great white shark is not so much.
Catherine?
No. This was in Australia.
Okay.
They called it Alpha 22 was the name of the shark.
Catchy.
Over here we name them, nice cats. That's Catherine. Over there, say, let's call it Alpha 22. Seems like an appropriate name, old mate. So anyway, not to make fun of it, if you're Australian.
Way to go.
Mike at Rodney Rudders. What have I got here? Playing Archangel.
Yep, we just lost viewers.
Oh,
Sorry.
all of them are gone now.
Way to go.
Way to go, Rodney. So they tagged this great white, 9 meters long, or 3 meters long, which is about a little over 9 feet.
Mhm.
They tag it, and just before Christmas, the shark takes immediate dive from the surface to 1922.
Did you say just before Christmas?
Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Christmas Eve, the shark goes from the surface of the water. Its body temperature was 46 degrees, ice cold water. Fish, cold-blooded animals, they are the temperature of the water. Shoots straight down within minutes to 1,922 feet deep and immediately warms up to 78 degrees. He stays at 78 degrees for 3 days, goes back up to the surface, wanders around the surface, and then the geological tag that they tagged him with floats up on shore. The shark was eaten by some kind of mega predator, and they have no idea what it was. How crazy is that?
Really?
Something bigger than a great white just ate a great white, and we got it all logged.
Is this recent news?
This is very recent news. This just came out like I just saw it today for the first time.
So did his temperature shoot up because he was inside of another animal?
That's what they're saying. because he was inside of another animal. So something swallowed a 9-foot shark whole, went to the surface, and digested. So inside of this thing was 78 degrees. Now, it had to be a mammal of some sort.
Whale?
It had to be some type of giant whale.
Because whales kill sharks, right?
Whales kill sharks.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, I don't know the length of time it stayed at 1,900 feet because I'm not so sure how long a whale could stay down that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it shot back up and was on the surface for 3 days, and then poof, the tag ends up on shore. You know, it has a little floaty bob on it. So if it comes out of the shark, it floats up. Some guy found it on shore, so it took him a while to get all the data out of this tag, and then poof. So here we have a great white shark that's been eaten by something, and they don't know what it was.
Holy smokes.
So isn't that crazy?
So you got a video we're going to watch? Is there anything to hear?
Well, there's a little
bubbles.
Yeah, there's a little clip, and it basically talks about the shark. It's about 2.5 minutes long. I didn't know if you wanted to play the clip, but you know, I just wanted to.
Is it wasting time? I don't mean wasting time. Is it wasting time because we're a radio show?
But yeah.
Okay.
So we should play the clip.
Rodney,
Rodney, how about let's play the clip, old boy? Yeah, let's play the clip. We'll put the clip on there. Let's see here.
You make me laugh.
So how odd is that? I mean, is that me or is that just like crazy?
Yeah, that's not what I saw coming. That was a twist to that story.
See, I that's why I'd hoped you had not heard the story.
I should have waited for the movie.
It's coming. The movie's coming out. So at this point, I cannot find that clip.
Really? Let me find it for you over here, Rodney.
Mike?
I'm kidding you.
Yeah.
Let's not play. Let's move on.
So let's move on. So anyway,
I
I just kind of want to hit on that. The more the info comes out, we'll hit on it next week.
Great picture of you on Facebook there.
How do you like that?
Sorry.
How awesome is that? Oh my God. So there you have it.
Cool.
Okay. So
let's talk gators. Where did we leave off?
We left off of basically where
part one was
our tags and our tagging system. Part two is
getting your tag.
The preparation. We got the tags, and now we're in the boat. You know, we're taking the process of actually killing the alligator.
Yeah, part two took us
up to taking the alligator.
Hunting, doing the actual hunting.
Doing the actual hunting. So what I'll do is I'll kind of back up into part two a little bit.
Perfect.
And then we'll kind of come back into part three. Part two, you know, we basically talked about now we have our tags. Now here's what you got to remember. When you're hunting, if you're, you know, let's just say you paid for your tags. So let's just pretend you did.
I did pay for my tags. Why did you have to bring that up?
Let's pretend you paid for your tags.
I didn't pay for my tags. That's the problem.
You're the gator hunter, okay?
Okay.
By me helping you and or hunting with you, let's just say I wanted to hunt, then I could hunt off of one of your tags, but I'd have to pay a $50. It's called an agent fee. It's $50 to the state. You can't beat that with a stick.
Okay.
It beats buying tags any day. So now I get to hunt with you and assist you, the hunter. So we go out.
I bought the tag. It's my name on the tag.
Your name on the tag. You have to be in the boat at all times.
You pay that. Okay, that's my first question.
Okay.
I have to be present.
Present, absolutely present. This guy can't just go kill a tag and show, hey man, I got a gator.
Yeah, you're paying $50 for the agent tag.
For the agent.
And you get full benefits then if I'm in the boat. I mean, you get
essentially yes.
You can do it all.
Absolutely, you can do it all. Absolutely. Okay. So, and you got to have your valid hunting license, which is $17.50. Just remember, you are hunting.
Okay.
So, we're out there. We're hunting. We are finding an alligator. Because remember why I hunt in canoes mainly is because every time we hit those lights, poof, those gators go down.
No, I thought it was cheaper on gas.
It is cheaper on gas. A little rough on the arms. You know, you got to prepare for that. 10, 12 hours of paddling.
In a canoe, I mean, even your strategy is totally different. I hope I'm not backing up too far.
No.
Your strategy is totally different because the speed upon which you can approach the gators, I mean, you're more stealth at this point, right?
Absolutely, because here's what happens. When you're in a boat, you shine your light across that lake, you've got these powerful Q-beams. You hit that alligator from a half a mile away. You see their eyeballs. Bloop, they just go down. Now, you can, in orientation of where you are to where that alligator is, you can't find them. You just really don't know the distance he was. You don't know proximate. So in a canoe, you just kind of do a quick shine. You know that alligator's out there, so you're slow paddling.
Okay.
You're not making noise. He doesn't know where you're at, and you eventually get onto him. So as you get closer, you hit him quickly with your light, bling, you see his eyeballs, you put your light back down, and you're still paddling.
Interesting.
Guys in front of the boat get totally excited, and then because I've done this for so many years, I can pretty much guess how far we are away, and I tell the hunter in front of the boat, get ready. Make sure your line is untangled, turn your lights on your bow, make sure your headlight's on. We have a light on the bow, on the stabilizer of the bow, which allows you to see your arrow, because you're not really using sights. It's all instinct. You're just basically getting up when you're shooting this alligator. So the light on your bow is just basically giving you a point to shoot at. The light on your head is basically allowing you to focus on finding this alligator. So you're using them both in a combination. So I'll say, get ready, just keep your lights down, and then I'll give them, the front of our boat's always 12 o'clock. I'll say, is at 1 o'clock? Pow, I'll turn my light off in the back of the boat, and here's the strategy behind that. Now, you may remember, if I have my light on the back of the boat, the alligator can now see you and get a distance relation. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Versus just seeing a light and not really knowing how far away that light is. He don't know if it's 100 yards or 100 miles. He just knows there's a light. So they really can't quite get a depth perception.
But otherwise, you're illuminating the person in the front of
now,
the boat.
if I turn my light on and poof, now I've got what I've noticed in my own travels is once I turn my light on and poof, and here you are, they can get a relationship of how close they are, and then poof, they're down. And this time they may go down for good. So, seeing if we missed the call. So that's why it's important to have the lights on the front of the boat. So you got your lights, you're coming up on the gator. Now this gator is coming into plain view. Now it's getting a little nervous because they can feel the vibration of the boat coming in. So they're starting to slowly move through the water. They're getting that slow move, and I'm starting to dig my paddle just a little bit deeper and getting a little more oomph on each paddle and allowing us to coast that much quicker. So now you're on this gator. You basically, with the arrow that I designed, you basically shoot the arrow into. It's not a fishing arrow. It's not one of those heavy fishing arrows. This is a regular carbon arrow with a 300 with a tip that comes off of the carbon. It just slides over the arrow, and basically you're shooting the speed of at your regular bow speed. So instead of shooting a 1,000 grain arrow, we're still shooting a 250 grain, 280 grain arrow, which is giving us the speed that we've always had.
Okay.
It's not lagging. It's not catching. So
let me ask you this, just to interject. Now, obviously, from a canoe, a bow and arrow is you couldn't throw a spear like we were doing on your big gator boat, right? Because of leveraging and being able to.
You can still do it. We've done it many times.
Okay.
Yeah, we can absolutely still do it.
It'd be a little trickier, though, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, the canoe that I throw out of is actually super stable. So believe it or not, we've got plenty of room there, plenty of stability, and then you can get a pretty good throw on it.
Okay.
We actually have a heavier spear for a canoe that allows you to dig that thing a lot deeper, so you really don't have to throw it. You just plunge.
Because you're closer to it.
Yeah, we're a little closer to it, and we just plunge. We can get a lot of real closer to the big ones.
Okay.
So now you have this alligator. So the key is the first 30 to 40 feet of this line is 300-pound test line, which is braided line, which is pretty thin, and the first 14 inches is cable.
Okay.
Then our 300-pound test line, and then we just have a ski rope, a white ski rope tied to a jug. And then beyond that jug is more 300-pound test. So basically what's that? Once you stab that gator, he's going to take off. So it's time to sit down, catch your breath, because the adrenaline's pumping. Sit down and just let that thing take line, because it's gonna take it. It's gonna run, and then when it gets to that jug, when you see that jug fly out, usually it stops pretty much right away because he's ran usually around 100 feet.
Yeah, by the time the jug hits the water,
it's usually stopped. A lot of times the jug won't go out unless we're running, but when you're sitting still, a lot of times the jug never makes it out. But when it does, we have line on that as well, just kind of tied to the boat, so we don't completely lose it, which we don't lose the jug anyway.
Now that is one of the top. I mean, the whole night's exciting, but that's one of the top 2 exciting moments in the night.
Oh yeah.
Because number one, you know, okay, game on, something's happening,
You know it's going down.
and you've got a little bit of a breather to collect your thoughts,
Absolutely.
because the most exciting part is yet to come.
Mm-hmm.
But
And it's about to get real.
it's like we got something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. So that's an exciting celebratory moment right there.
And you know it's going to happen because we're not going to shoot unless it's a good alligator.
Yeah.
So now we got this alligator on
Can I
the
ask
other
you one
string.
more question? I wanna back up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When you were talking about shining the lights across the lake so you can see these gators, from your experience, because for me it was difficult. I mean, you remember when you see there's a ton of eyeballs
Right,
staring back at
right.
you can see them across the lake. But gauging the size,
Ah,
you know, adult versus, because you could go all the way across the water and this thing's, you know, 24 inches long. It's just
Right.
a baby on top. So what, from your experience, how have you learned to gauge what you're looking at based on just the reflection from their eyeballs?
location. Basically, location. There's two things. One is a young gator's eyes are going to shine like a brilliant green. It's a bright green, not necessarily a dark red. They do have red eyeballs, but it's hard to tell. A larger alligator, you're going to see the red right off. You're going to go, that's a red eyeball.
Oh, really?
That's a larger alligator.
Okay.
So the more red it is, the larger the alligator, because you get to see more of his pupil. A smaller alligator is going to have a smaller pupil, so therefore you won't get to see as much red, but you will see a little bit. It's just a faded more into a pink or what I call a green. Now I'm colorblind, so it's more of a white light to me.
Okay.
So that's one way to gauge. The most efficient way, the most definite way to go, okay, that's most likely a small alligator being, when I say small, I'm saying 5 feet or under.
Right. Something you probably don't want to take.
You're probably not
waste
going
your
to
time
beat through the
chasing,
bush
yeah.
to shoot it anyway. So it's location. You know, being in Toho, I know where the grass line is. I know that grass line is usually around 300 or 400 feet thick, you know, that goes all the way back to the cattails. If I see these alligators on the cattails, I won't even mess with them because I know they're only 6 to 10 inches long.
Location. Gotcha.
It's their safest place to be. Those 6-inch alligators aren't going to come into that grass because there's 5-foot alligators. So now if I see an alligator about halfway through that grass, wiggling through the grass, I know he's about 5 or 6 feet long. Could it be a 10-footer? Yeah. Odds are it's not going to be. So I don't even try for those. I mean, if you remember, us going through that, we mostly seen the 3 and 5 footers.
Sure.
Now, closer to the edge of the grass, the outside edge, the alligators get bigger. So right around that edge, we find our 8s, 9s, and 10-footers. So we know they're cruising that outside edge looking for ducks, and they're just on the very tips. They're either 10 feet in or 20 or 30 feet out. So now we're in the middle of the lake. We see a set of eyes in the middle of the lake.
It's huge.
That's our man. That's the Mac Daddy.
Also the tougher ones to get close to.
It is tougher to get close to them because, you know, if they're 8, 10, you know, if they're 12 foot long, you know, 11 to 12, 13 foot long, they're close to 45 years old.
They're wise.
So their alligators have been there a time. They've seen the thing. They know a thing about a thing or two.
We talked about that pretty deep in part 2 of Gator Hunting. So
exactly. So now he's in the middle of the lake. Now the trick is to kind of keep him in the middle of the lake. So, you know, in a canoe, it's a little bit tougher. If you're in a boat and you can just keep circling, and eventually he'll go down, and you just got to be patient and 15, 20 minutes at a time. You know, but the more you run him, the more he's out of breath, the less time he can stay down. And eventually it comes to the point where he can only stay down for a few seconds. He swam so much that he cannot, his metabolism's cooking. He's got to keep that air in him because they'll drown too. So he's got to keep popping up, popping up, popping up. Now he's become more prone, you know, more vulnerable. So he knows that we're on him, and his eyes keep popping up. Well, we can see him. Now what airboats do is they keep circling, and eventually they wait for him to pop up, and they either stay down or they get.
Because they got the speed and mobility.
Exactly. But now it's getting to the point where those alligators will disappear way before the airboat ever gets to them, and that's where the canoe comes in handy. The canoe is just quiet, stealthy. If you're patient, it takes the same amount of time to do the same thing, except it's a lot quieter. This alligator has no clue where you're at or what you're doing. They can tell by the vibration of the boat. They just don't know how far you are. They just don't know where you're at. Once you got that light in their eyes, they don't know. Like I said, if I turn this light off in the room, I could walk across the room. You wouldn't know if I was. Yeah. Well, you would see your couch, but.
I see your point.
But you see my point.
Yeah.
So they don't know distance. They can't grasp the perception. They can only feel it. If you've seen the end of a gator snout, you see all these little dots. Well, those dots are basically motion sensors. They pick up a heartbeat. or a fish movement or a little splash on the water. So, as that canoe cuts the water, they can catch those waves. Actually, there's waves ahead of the boat that you can't see.
Sure.
We often see the ones that flow back, but there are some that are in front as well.
I call them compression waves.
Hey, that's probably the technical name.
Yeah, I just made that up.
Oh, well, that sounds good.
Sounds
It's
good,
called
right?
a compression wave.
Yeah, cool, perfect.
We'll call it the CW. So, poof. So, that's why it's so important to be on your game. So if you're in the front of my boat and I say, okay, get ready, it's important to stay in the ready position, because the minute you let your guard down, it might be that 1 minute, and any little movement that you do in that canoe, it rocks. Any change of movement, that thing is gone. I mean, as you said, if they hear your voice, they can now suddenly pick up where you're at, how close you are. So that's why it's important. Just stay ready, stay quiet, and poof, now we got this gator. Now we're pulling him up on the line.
Okay, so the hook is set.
Yeah. I always have a follow canoe, which is my cousin. He'll always follow us with either an extra passenger, or if I'm with the hunter, then he'll have help in the other boat, basically his son, which is 18, and we'll prepare for the actual kill of the gator. So now we're pulling this line up. We don't know where this gator is. We don't know if we shot him in closer to the back, the front. We just know we shot him. We're kind of got a good idea where we shot him. So now we have to pull him up. And a lot of times they come up with grass, just a ton of hydrilla around them. So I've got to reach down in and start pulling his hydrilla out to kind of see where his head is at. And that's why we have such a long leader on it. So once we get to the point, or like the 3-foot point, we know that gator's 3 feet.
Oh, gotcha.
From this point.
That's your checkpoint, yeah.
Yeah, that's our checkpoint. So we know he's close.
Heads up.
He's 3 feet. So get ready. Now we got to find the head. So we don't pull him in anymore. We just start looking for heads. We look in the clear water, and we find his tail and relations, and we know his head is somewhere inside of this ball of grass.
And side note, you're right, because you don't know where he got him, because when we were gator hunting, we pulled one up that we didn't even get him.
Exactly. He was wrapped around the rope.
And he had bit onto the stick.
That's right.
Held on.
That's our video that we have on YouTube.
We hadn't even penetrated him. He was just holding onto the stick.
Exactly.
And we got him in the boat.
And we got him in the boat.
Yeah.
You got him in the boat.
I got him in the boat.
That was a pretty cool event.
We need to put some of that footage together. Cause
Absolutely.
It was the first time actually trying to film in the dark, but we sure had a blast.
The film turned out great. Well, a little bit of clips that we did.
So anyways, you find the head.
So now we've got this ball of grass with a big alligator in it. So now we're at the point where we're finding the head. Once we find the head, I prepare the bang stick. We get it loaded with a 357 shell, and that's when the hunter grabs his string, controls the alligator, and then bangs it in the top of the head, and poof, puts it out of commission.
Lights out.
Yeah. Depending on the size, sometimes you got to bang them twice.
Okay.
And we want to hit them right in that medulla oblongata. We want to put them out of commission on that one shot. So it's important that we get to that point. Drag the gator to shore. Now we're in the...
Okay. So you're in a canoe, so you're not going to pull him up in the boat with him. You're going to just tow him?
If it's 8 or 9 feet, we can get it in a boat. I've got a 16-foot canoe. We can usually get it inside of one of the boats. Anything bigger than 9 feet, we pretty much have to just kind of wrap up and
just secure them.
Slow paddle in, and it usually goes pretty smooth.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's usually within a mile or 2 miles from the boat ramp.
There's a photograph from, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago where you're on shore.
Right.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
With that large gator. Had you towed him in?
No. Well,
or was that in different?
That was a 12-foot alligator, just under 12 feet, and that was a tough one. We were actually in a aluminum bass boat when we got that alligator, and with 3 of us, we were already at maximum capacity on this boat. Now we had to pull an 850-pound alligator up in this thing, so that was quite difficult. We actually got that alligator in a 12-foot canoe, and it drug us around for a couple hours. And when we finally banged it, and we finally killed it, now we had to pull this 850-pound alligator up with, and hold it up above the surface with this tipsy canoe, get it over to the boat, and then 3 of us try to lift this thing up. So basically what we did is we tied it to the side of the boat, drug it to a shallow area while we all got out and rolled this thing up on the boat, and had to go real slow because we were like right at the water's edge.
Close to taking on water?
Yeah, we were very close to taking on water, and then we got this thing, up and obviously to the boat ramp where we could take those pictures. We'll even post some of those pictures. So yeah, that was a bit tricky there. So normally, like if I take someone hunting, I'll just take my process table with me so we can just process it right there at the boat ramp. We can discard everything that we have right there.
And when you say process, you mean?
We're going to take this call right now.
We got a call?
Yep, we got a call.
How are you, buddy?
Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. This is Rodney. Yellow? Who do we got here?
Yes. Yeah, I have a question for Rodney Rogers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've always thought about going gator hunting, and I've got a buddy that does it, and but he's been telling me stories about how he goes gator hunting. And he told me a story about how he jumped out of a boat onto a gator before he knew that the line you were talking about was hooked.
Right,
I'm just curious to whether or not I should find someone else to go hunting with.
No.
So I thought
definitely stay with Rodney Rogers.
You might want to validate that story is what I would do.
Well, that particular story. Now, in my younger days, 4 or 5 years ago, normally what we do is when we'd spear the alligator, we'd get the alligator close, and if it was in thick hydrilla, I would jump out and control the alligator as it came into the boat. And my buddy would start pulling the rope to the spear, and he would hold up me and the alligator because we were held up by the rope. I had the alligator, the spear had the alligator, and he would hold us both up. Well, as I jumped in and I grabbed this, 7.5-foot alligator, it's kind of thrashing about, and I'm telling him to pull the rope, tighten us up. I got one hand on the edge of the boat, and we're trying to wrestle it in, and he's yelling at me. I couldn't tell what he was yelling at me because of all the splashing of the alligator. And what he's telling me is, we missed. And I'm just going at it, and he's got the rope in his hands. And basically what happened was we pull up, I throw the spear at the alligator, I missed the alligator, and the alligator popped up about 3 feet from the boat. And it was in real thick hydrilla. So I thought, in my infinite wisdom, that I don't miss, and I jumped on the alligator. Blam! I'm in the water with the alligator. He's pulling the rope to do our process, and guess what? The rope comes in the boat completely. We missed. We never even touched the alligator, and I actually caught the alligator by surprise, and then he caught me by surprise. Now, I couldn't let go of the alligator in this thick hydrilla because it was just so thick he couldn't get away, and I couldn't get away. So I had to hang on to the side of the boat while my buddy motored out of the hydrilla with the motor tangled up. Seemed like forever, and I was just wore out till we got into open water. And then I had to push the alligator away, hoping he wasn't mad and come back at me. And then my buddy kind of drugged me in the boat because I didn't even have the energy to pull myself in the boat. Is that the story we're speaking of there, Mr. McGraw?
Well, that is the story that I have heard. So that's why I was wondering if I should find someone else to go gator hunting with.
Well, if I was a bad guy, I would push you in on the gator and go, get him.
Well, I had a gator question, so I thought I'd call in and ask.
Oh, man,
so.
that's thanks for reminding me of that story. That's
Mike,
awesome.
how are you doing? This is our good buddy Mike McGraw.
This is Mike McGraw.
I am fine, gentlemen. How are you?
We are awesome, man. This is our vacation for the week.
Yes, our hour-long vacation every Tuesday
having
night.
a great show as always.
Well, thank you, man. How's Mom and the baby?
They're doing fantastic. The baby is asleep, and Mama's right here watching with me.
See.
Hey, Mike, where are you guys watching at? How are you? Are you watching or listening, or how are you?
I'm actually watching your live feed from. I was on Facebook, saw the link with that great picture that I'm guessing you did, Mike, and clicked on the link, and we've been watching it on my phone in the living room on the couch.
That is awesome.
That answers my question then.
Yeah. Actually, Mike's brother Marlon did that picture. What do you think about that picture? How's that?
That's funny.
I like that picture. That's a very, very good picture. I thought it captured both of you perfectly.
I wish I was a cartoon. I ain't gonna lie. I sure would love to be a cartoon.
Yeah, I think at moments you are, Rodney.
At moments I am.
Well, his head is certainly big enough sometimes.
You better stop.
Where he's got the life of Wile E. Coyote, where he can jump off cliffs and still survive.
Yeah. That's what I always tell my
Absolutely.
kids. I don't want to be 18 again. I just want my 18-year-old body. If I could do that again, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Mike,
but
give
I wanted to
everybody a
call in
kiss for us, my man.
And tell you guys are having a great show.
Well,
so.
thank you, my man. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you. Hey, Jade.
All right, thank
Shout
you.
out to Jade.
All right.
Shout out to Jay
Love you guys.
and little
I will
Rowan.
tell Ethan. All right, guys.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
So yeah, that was a story not to be forgotten. And that was actually the time that was actually the last time that I said, you know what, I think my jumping out of the boat days are over.
So was it your last time?
It was actually my last time I jumped out of the boat on an alligator.
Sobered you up pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I wish I would have had a beer, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have thought about it second twice.
So that one got away.
So I had to let that one go.
Yeah.
You know, I really did.
You pushed and ran, or pushed and swam.
I did like a push and jump.
Yeah.
I said, put your hand on the seat of my pants, and when I push him, you pull me. And we kind of did it all at the same time. I don't think that gator was
He probably
could care less.
Yeah.
He was just wanting to get out of Dodge. He didn't know what happened. I didn't know what happened. And so yeah, it's that was the last time I actually jumped in and almost drowned it.
I love it.
So, but yeah, so you know what? Next week we'll get into we'll remember to get in the processing of the alligators. There's things that I do because remember you're cleaning a reptile.
Okay.
So
What
you got?
No. Let's do this. Let's remember where that we got, because what else do you want to tag the gator?
Yep. So so at that point, you know, one of our that's the most most.
So we'll
important.
pick up from tagging the gator next
Okay.
time. You've caught the gator. We sticked him now. He's dead. So either we pulled him on the boat or we drug him to shore. But now we got to tag him. So we'll pick up from tagging and processing next time.
That's what we'll do. We'll pick up from tagging and processing. Processing is going to be an important part because we're processing a reptile, so we want to make sure it's clean.
And what I'd like to do, with your permission, Rodney, is somewhere we'll put, maybe so they can watch it ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
the video.
Oh, we still have that video?
I shot the whole process of you processing
Oh, that's right, you
the
did.
video, and actually me tagging. We've got me tagging the gator.
Okay.
So maybe people could watch ahead of time and have a kind of a.
Absolutely. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Cool.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
There you have it.
We'll figure out a place to put it again, because
Yeah, we got to put a disclaimer on that or something.
Yeah,
because it's yeah.
That's the video I made the mistake of uploading on Mobley, and I
Got booted out of that thing, did you?
for people did not like the fact that I did not put a disclaimer on it. And I
Yeah.
didn't think about it, you know.
Yeah,
but
you know what?
It's definitely
when
not
you do it, it just seems second nature.
But it's the real deal. I mean,
Yeah,
and you
it's-
see the whole thing. So,
Right.
but I think it's worth sharing for those who are interested.
Yeah. If you're not interested, don't watch this. Definitely do not watch it.
You get to see you half naked running around in your driveway.
So anyway,
So, man, always a good show, Rodney.
thank you, man. It always goes by so fast.
It really does. Vacation's over already.
Yeah.
I know we've got a lot coming up, and most of the stuff we haven't solidified yet, so I don't want to let cats out of the bag
Right.
early.
I agree.
But there is one thing I'd like to, you know how I'd like to promote and throw this out there.
Yeah.
We were talking about the other day, and I think we go ahead and just do this. There's milestones as we kind of go down this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the, as far as Facebook's concerned, a lot of the likes are kind of how you calibrate your success and how you're moving forward. And I think our next milestone is 500 likes. Right now we are at 343 likes.
Okay. Yep.
So what we're going to do, and this is for a limited time only, it's only up till 500 likes. So between now, 343 and 500 likes, how many is that? 157?
157.
Those 157 likes, you ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready.
Do I have a drum roll?
Let's see.
No.
I thought you did at one time.
Deleted it.
Man, you deleted the drum roll.
So between 343 likes and 500 likes, those likes and those likes only are going to be free.
Stop.
You can like us on Rodney Rogers Facebook for free.
For free.
After that,
all bets are off.
Yep.
All bets
we're going to go back and normal rates apply after that. But up to 500 likes, free. So tell your friends. Promote it. If you're not liking us, like us now.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, free, $0.
Yeah, and you can like us twice.
I don't know if Facebook lets you do that, but if you can't, try it.
You can unlike us and re-like us.
Try it.
Yeah.
But until we get to 500 likes, all the likes are free.
All the likes are free. Mike, I don't know how you can do that.
I'm generous.
I don't know how you do that. Hopefully that's out of your side.
Booyah.
Right, that's off this side.
Booyah.
Mike at RodneyRogers.outdoors.com.
Put it on my account. So there you go. So what a blast.
What a blast. I always love this stuff. So
come back next week and we'll talk about more gators and see how many likes we're at. But again,
You got it.
only till 500.
That's it. I'll say it a million times, and my mama's always said it. You kids get outside and stay.